Welcome. It's your man Gotham Dots back with another episode of the Audible. Excuse me, y'all. I hope everybody had a very good weekend. Hope your week's kind of starting out right, and we're just going to kind of dive into it. This past weekend, AFC Championship, NFC Championship. A lot to break down, a lot to kind of talk about and discuss in regards to these games. Whew, I'm glad I didn't bet no money, man. I'm glad I didn't bet no money. Y'all know my picks going into this, the championship games was going to be Baltimore and Detroit. And I'm going to say this. And you can put this on the record. And I've been talking about this with a lot of teams throughout the season in regards to play calling, understanding situational football, understanding the tempo of the game, um, mainly coaching. And what you saw on Sunday was how coaching, Pat the GOAT. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I'm going to say this. I'm going to start with the Baltimore Kansas City game, and we'll kind of go from there. If you watch the game, um, whether you were a fan of Baltimore, whether you're a fan of Kansas City, um, two great defensive performances on both sides of the ball. Kansas City came out, played a lot of man coverage, played a lot of blitz packages, stuffed. Baltimore's run game was never able to get going. And credit to the secondary. Credit to the secondary for Kansas City. I don't think enough credit is given to Kansas City. I knew Kansas City had a good defense, but the secondary is very underrated. I would say very underrated, even though they have an all-pro corner out there in McDuffie. Ladarius Sneed is a Pro Bowl caliber player. And the guys make it. Justin Reed makes plays. And I'll talk about I'm going to tell you how all this works with coaching in this game. You have Baltimore goes out there, plays all things considered, plays a very strong defensive game. Gave the offense opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Baltimore's defense kept them into the game well into the fourth quarter, despite the shortcomings of the offense. And this is where coaching kind of came into play here. And this what separates the greats from the goods. This separates the greats from the goods. With Baltimore, I thought Harbaugh should have made a coaching change that had a more a philosophy change on the offensive side of the ball. Seeing is how, you're right. McDuffie and Sneed are locked down and can hit. What was confusing to me watching Baltimore's offense, especially after the first quarter of the game. I know Baltimore, you want to stick to who you are. You want to, remain in your identity. But Kansas City was having a lot of success blitzing you, playing man coverage, and mainly because Baltimore comes out in a lot of compressed packages. And for those who don't understand what that means, comes out in a lot of two tight end sets, a lot of bunch type concepts. They're not really spreading the defense out. And when you don't spread the defense out, and you're running so many compressed packages, if your quarterback is not able to really pick up the blitz and see where the blitz is coming from and make adjustments at the line of scrimmage, this is where film work comes into play. Your team is going to struggle. Your team is going to struggle. In case in point, teams had a lot of success against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm sorry, Eagles fans for picking on you, but you're a prime example for this. Teams had a lot of success against the Philadelphia Eagles because the Eagles was coming out in a lot of compressed packages, wasn't doing a lot of movement, forcing the defense to make adjustments to what they were doing, and teams was just running a lot of blitz packages towards Jalen Hurts. And what you saw with Jalen Hurts, when teams started dialing it up, started running a lot of cover zero, cover one coverages, wasn't really sitting back playing zone. He struggled picking up the blitz, finding out where the blitz was, attacking the vacated areas in the defense. And what you saw on Sunday was, as good as Lamar is, even What they was doing in the first 3 quarters of the game was playing a lot of, like I said, cover zero, cover one coverage, man on man, and they were blitzing the hell out of Lamar. Lamar with the compressed packages that was playing. How you doing, Miss Murphy? With the compressed sets that Baltimore was running out there, it was making it so easy for Kansas City to dial up the pressure. What I thought Harbaugh should have did, seeing and how his offense was struggling to move the ball. You have some speed out there at the wide receiver position, likely can split out and doesn't have to be on the line of scrimmage. Run a lot more. What's going on, Jerv? Run a lot more open package, maybe more 3 receiver sets, but open it up, spread the field out, allow Lamar a better view of if a blitz is coming, where the blitz is coming from. Baltimore stayed in the compressed sets, and it just made it so easy for Kansas City to continue to just dial up the pressure, dial up the pressure, dial up the pressure, dial up the pressure, dial up the pressure. And what they did in the fourth quarter, seeing as how Baltimore was never able to really kind of get into a rhythm offensively because the run game was being stuffed because they was running them tight sets, and Kansas City was dropping guys down to the box and blitzing. When it came time to the fourth quarter, what you saw from Kansas City's defense was like, okay, now we're still going to play tight man coverage on the outside, but we're going to play more coverage up underneath. And you saw Lamar continue to look confused, a lot of holding on to the ball, a lot of patting the ball, not being able to get through his progressions fast enough to attack that defense. Like if you watch the game, Kansas City pulled back a lot of the blitz packages in the fourth quarter. It's like, hey, we're going to play more coverage. We're still going to play tight man on the outside because we have the personnel to do it, but we're going to play everything else up underneath. They had a lot of faith in their secondary to maintain coverage, and Lamar was getting, Kansas City was getting coverage sacks in the fourth quarter. Kansas City was getting cover sacks in the fourth quarter. Had Lamar in his feelings. I'm gonna talk about that too, because that goes into coaching. How coaching really affected these championship games. I was, it's one thing to be, trash talking on the field, emotions run high. AFC Championship, chance to go to the Super Bowl. This is what your season has been about. To see some of the, personal foul calls, especially on the defensive side of the ball, Zay Flowers with the taunting call, like this is the championship game. Stuff like that may be cool early in the season, but when it's postseason time, you go out there with a professional mindset. Hey, we're here to take care of business, not do anything to hurt the team. Zay Flowers, to go down, get the big catch, and then give 15 yards right back. Give 15 yards right back to him. Because you're in the moment, you want to taunt, it's it was frustrating to watch because like I said, I had picked Baltimore going into this game, but I thought Harbaugh kind of let the game get away from it. The offense coordinator for Baltimore, I don't know who was calling plays in Baltimore, did not make the adjustments they needed to make. Kansas City was going to, they had the personnel to play man coverage, but you can't come out in those kind of compressed sets. You're not having any success running the ball. You're not you're not spreading them out. Make it easier for Lamar. And this has kind of been of a trend when you see quarterbacks struggling. Especially the Jalen Hurts. You saw Lamar struggle with it. When you're not making the job easier for the quarterback to make easier reads, it shows. It shows. Every quarterback in the league is not a Patrick Mahomes. Every quarterback in the league does not have that kind of first of all doesn't have that kind of arm talent, but doesn't the decision making by a Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City moved the ball when they needed to move the ball. Wasn't a lot of explosive plays, wasn't a lot of over the top type plays, but made plays when they needed to make plays. The run game was okay, but credit to Kelsey for getting it going. Credit to Mahomes for putting the team in winning position and not turning over the ball. That also has to play a part with the play calling and the coaching. Like Baltimore left so many points on the field. So many points on the field. And give credit to Baltimore's defense for being able to hold up for as long as they did. To lose a game, a championship game, when your team effectively gave away 14 points down in the red zone with the turnovers, gave away 14 points. And for you to only lose by 7 says a lot. So, kudos to the Baltimore's defense. We'll get more into Super Bowl preview matchups a little bit later on in the week, but I just want to kind of focus in right now on the championship games. Kansas City has found a formula that, and it goes back to coaching again. Andy Reid is able to adjust depending on the type of game that is being played. When you saw them against Buffalo, the offense was able to spread the ball out more, able to put up more points, able to be a lot more aggressive against that Buffalo defense. What you saw against Baltimore, hey, not really wanted to put the ball in harm's way. We're not going to take big risks. We're not going to put ourselves into position too hard because the defense, both defenses played great. Both defenses played great. But Kansas City's, hey, we're gonna have to adapt our offensive strategy, run the ball to keep the clock going, especially in the second half. Run the ball, keep the clock going, and pick up third downs. Keep drives alive, keep drives going, and eventually, you'll get a break. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for taking care of business. I ain't mad at it. Tune in Friday, Freestyle Friday, because I will be talking about the Taylor Swift effect on football, and will this be a trend going forward? We'll talk about that more in detail on Friday here at Freestyle Friday. But let's move on to the other game of the weekend. Baltimore, Kansas City. Hey, I picked Baltimore. Kansas City's back in the Super Bowl. That was my preseason pick, so I'm not totally upset about it. But Detroit, San Francisco, Dan fucking Campbell. Dan Campbell. When I say coaching and play calling plays such a critical role in a team's success throughout the season, even more so in the postseason. Can somebody tell me what the hell Dan Campbell is thinking? I need somebody from Detroit or Detroit Lions Homer fan or whatever to tell me what in the entire hell is Dan Campbell thinking on the sidelines when he gets down to be a fourth down. He's coaching the game and calling the game like he's playing Madden. I'm sorry. I have been high on Detroit all year. I will continue to be high on Detroit because I think this team is up and coming. They have a lot of young talent. The rookie class did a great job in contributing to this team's success. But speaks that Detroit got shook. I don't even think it's got shook. It's like two different. When you watch that Detroit Frisco game, it's two different games. First half, Detroit is all over them. Detroit is being aggressive on both sides of the football. They're causing a lot of confusion with the San Francisco offense. San Francisco offense wasn't able to get on track in the first half, and second half comes out. I don't, credit to San Francisco for making the plays, but Dan Campbell, Jesus, how you let this game get away from you? And then is this dude allergic to his kicker? Someone needs to answer that for Detroit Lions fan. Is this dude allergic to kicking? We saw this early in the season. With Detroit. I get it, go for it on fourth down. You're the gambler. It's showing your team that we're willing to take chances, but you lost the game against the Cowboys because you were too aggressive. You were too aggressive instead of taking points, rewarding your offense for their time on the field, and mainly rewarding your defense. Hey, give you a little bit more of a cushion to work with. But Dan Campbell, I mean, this is the face I had throughout the second half of the game. Like, what is Dan Campbell doing? I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs was going. You had success with the run game. Yes, San Francisco made adjustments in the second half, but Dan Campbell, I mean, that's the kind of stuff when I'm talking about coaching decisions and play call. That's the kind of stuff get guys fired. get guys fired. Dan Campbell have situational football is key. And trust me, I know all about what situational football looks like and how bad it can be because I'm a Cowboys fan. I've lived through the Tony Romo years. I've lived through the Mike McCarthy years, the Jeff Garrett years. Trust me, I know what it looks like when you have poor situational awareness when it comes to making calls out there on the field. Detroit got away from what they were doing in the first half, like the aggression toned down. The mistakes started popping up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened. It was like the tale of two games. Yeah, Jerm, got way overzealous. And you're right, Speak. Perfect example of trying to hit home runs instead of taking the singles. When you have a chance to put up points, put up points. Put up points. You put more pressure on the San Francisco 49ers kicking the field goals. You're up. You're up coming into the second half. San Francisco goes down and gets three. Pound the ball. You had success doing it in the first half. You have the person that Detroit has one of the best offensive lines in football. Period. Has one of the best offensive lines in football. Period. And just go out there and do what you were doing in the first half. Maul the hell out of San Francisco. No, you got too cute. Dan Campbell, man. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. This guy coaches like he's playing Madden. He's like, man, 4th and 10, we're going for it. No, sometimes you got to just say, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Take your three. Take your three. I mean, the game could have changed so dramatically if he's not going for it every 4th down. Maybe that's an indictment on Detroit specialties. Maybe he knows something I don't. 2,000-yard running back, man. You Gibbs was cooking. Montgomery is able to pick up tough yards between the tackles. You have you had a good formula in the first half, and you got away from it in the second half, trying to be too cute. And being too cute cost you an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. Because if you look at the first half, anybody would have told you San Francisco was the favorite coming into that game, based on what you was looking at on the field, would have told you were lying. Detroit was outplaying them on both sides of the ball. But I mean, I don't want to put it all on Dan Campbell, because at the same time, players got to go out there and execute. But your decision making, situational football hurt your team, and it hurt your team multiple times through the season. Dan Campbell, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I mean, if you really think about it, you may have cost your team home field advantage by gambling so much. You had an opportunity against the Dallas Cowboys to be right there for the number 1 seed. Could have got the number 1 seed instead of playing in San Francisco. You could have been home in Detroit if you'd have kicked the field goal. I mean, you could have changed the dynamic of this game, kicking the field goal. Put more. Hold on. I knew you were gonna come up for this. What's going on, man?
Say, man. Go ahead. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just doing color with you. Go on, and you spot on with that though, Dron. Spot on. Take your tray, man.
Yeah, dig. I mean, and I like Detroit. I've been high on them for the past 2 years, man. But I mean, that's the kind of shit get a coach fired.
Yo, they are a very talented team. They should have won the game. But do you think it was, we got Jared Goff, he'll make it happen? They got Brock Purdy, he ain't shit. Do you think it was that? Because you gotta when you put points on the board, you add pressure to the other team's next possession. Whether it's 3 or 7, you add pressure. But when you don't get nothing, you hand over momentum and field position.
Yeah. I like I said, I watched the first half, and Detroit looked like the better team on both sides of the ball. Second half, I don't know what the play calling, the philosophy was coming out of the half. It was not working. I thought Detroit was going to come out. I mean, because they had success running the ball. Run the hell out the ball, lay those big bodies on that, and San Francisco is a very talented defense, but they're kind of light up front. They're kind of light up front, and you had I said it's going to the game. You can run on San Francisco. You can run on, and Detroit was doing it in the first half, got away from it. Being too cute with the play call. Defense, got laid off, was allowing guys to get open underneath. And one thing about San Francisco, and their wide receiving core, they're very good after the catch. That's when they make the magic happen. They're not guys that's just going to bomb you over the top. They get a lot of their yards, get the yak yards.
Right. So you put them in a position to have to throw. That way you know what's coming. And if they watch the Kansas City game, the whole second half, Kansas City was just running the clock. They just took the air out of the ball because they knew their defense was going to prevent Lamar from doing what he does, and that's use his legs. They want chunk plays now. So all Detroit had to do was run the ball here, throw a little screen here, keep the clock running, and just take the air out of the ball.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you make them rush. We ain't got to do that shit. They got 2 running backs that had 1,000 yards.
You don't have to tell me, Speak. I was the Baltimore Kansas City game. I was like, you know what? This play calling. Baltimore never adjusted the offensive philosophy. I would have spread Kansas City out. Spread them out. Hey, we're not, the big packages are not working. Get out of the pistol. Get out of the single back. Get out of the bunch sets. Spread them jokers out. Try to make the reads easier for Lamar. And Lamar, for whatever reason, the week prior, he wasn't afraid to just, first read it there, second read it there, take off. He's like sitting back. I got to pass. I've never seen him kind of that timid in a game to where a lot of the sacks they were getting were coverage sacks.
Yeah, well, Kansas, to Spagnola's credit, they always had a spy on Lamar. So he saw that guy like, I can't take off because he's just waiting to shoot the gap if I go anywhere. So I got to find somebody, but nobody's there. So Spags found a way to take what they do best and make them not want to do it. So now they need extra yards. So we can't run because that's going to take time off the clock that we need. We got to throw this ball, and that's not Lamar's strength. When somebody's spying, looking at him like, come on, go ahead and run. We're waiting for you.
Man.
And he dropped the ball early, so that makes him kind of hesitant to, you know what I mean? It gets in your head during the pressure of the game.
But despite how well Kansas City defense played, Baltimore was still put themselves in a position to. I mean, they left 14 points on the field.
Yeah, they did. They did.
They left. I mean, I'm not going to complain about the non-pass interference calls, and I mean, it's this. Those are bang bang type plays. But you left, like, I don't know what Lamar was looking at. Even if when Likely throws his hand up going into the end zone, he's double covered. He's double covered with the safety that's not covered lurking. This I was like, you guys left points on the field. And you wait for me, I think, the frustrating thing is you wasted a great defensive performance by Baltimore, because when Baltimore had to get them off the field in that second half to get up the offensive opportunity, they did that. Kansas City was able to take some clock off, but Kansas City wasn't able to go up and down the field. They took enough. I mean, but play calling, man. Play calling has played such a big role.
I mean, but when you really look at it, though, right? The touchdown that Baltimore scored was lucky. Lamar was sacked, and he got away, and everybody else thought he was sacked, and they chucked the ball up and got a lucky touchdown. That shit wasn't by design. That wasn't X and O's. That was his athletic ability getting him out of a 15-yard sack and making a play. That shit was a miracle. That's not your offense. That's not what you do every play. So that touchdown was lucky. That wasn't X and O's. I'm executing. That was I'm lucky as shit. I got away from that guy.
I mean, I agree. I agree, but I mean, you still left 2 touchdowns on the field. I mean,
Yeah. Well, that's Flowers' fault.
I saw when I was watching Flowers. You get what are you celebrating?
What are you doing?
We know that's like another thing with with NFL. Like, what's up with these guys wanting to celebrate every play? Trust me, if I'm down 20 points, I'm not getting up pointing first down. Like, no, I'm just get back to the line of scrimmage, man, and let's get some points on the board. I got them. So celebrating the end zone. Why am I celebrating first down? And in that moment, like then to turn around and fumble a couple of plays later.
Right. I mean, now, and that was karma biting him in his ass because I could see if you cooked the cornerback, caught it on him, I got it, I overpowered you or whatever. You was wide open, and dude just made a open field tackle on you, and you pushing him down and spiking the ball on him. Like, what are you doing? Get the fuck up and get in the huddle.
Yeah, Baltimore was the penalties was killing me. I was like, this is not how Baltimore was played all year. Like,
yeah,
overly emotional, and that goes back to coaching. Like, hey, you may have to pull Raekwon. Hey, I need you to settle down. Javid Clowney, I need you to settle down because you're killing the team right now because you're keeping drives alive for these guys. With the late hits on Mahomes and stuff, like they're gonna call that shit.
Yep.
You gotta play in this moment. You almost have to kind of pull the reins back on the aggressiveness of your defense. Like, hey, we can't be doing that. Free drives, man. If drives was continuing dumb penalties. But credit to Kansas City for playing smart football. Because it wasn't like a great game by the offense. I mean, it was a great game, but I say the defense carried them on Sunday, most definitely.
No, Kansas City's defense got them into the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
definitely. And it's just like, I mean, it's a thing of matchups, definitely. But when you got a guy like Lamar, and you know what he likes to do and what he don't like to do, and I heard some of the pundits on TV saying, he was trying to be too quarterbacky. And it's like, that's not your thing, bruh.
Yeah, I hate that about. I mean, because it reminds me of what they used to say about Vic, like trying to pigeonhole him and like to be a quarterback, you got to stay in the pocket. Like, no, some you got to be able. I was surprised they didn't roll him out more. If you're going to run bunch sets, man, get the read option running. Give Lamar an opportunity to have easier reads. And I was saying this about a bunch of teams this season, man. You got to make it easier for your quarterback. Brock Purdy, talent wise, is average.
Yep.
But Kyle Shanahan makes life easy for him, with the motion. Guys being split out in certain situations, short throws, get it to Debo, let Debo get the yards. They're not asking Brock Purdy to be throwing 30, 40-yard bombs all game long. They get them out, make stuff easy for your quarterback, man. Make stuff, especially when you got a quarterback like that. It comes down to coaching. Like Harbaugh should have saw, hey, the run game is not going. Our usual type offense with the compressed sets makes it easier for Kansas City to blitz because now you're in a run set or you're in a tight set. We can drop down the safeties closer into the box, make it even harder for you to run. And now we can start. Spags defense is going to blitz
all the time.
I would spread them out. I mean, likely it doesn't have to be up on the line of scrimmage. He can split out. He's athletic enough of a tight end. You had Mark Andrews back. I'm not sure how healthy he was, but I mean, you got Flowers, you got Bateman, you got OBJ. Spread them out, man.
And it gives him more room to run when you spread those guys out and get them out of that compressed set.
Yeah.
You got a lot more room when you put two over here, two over there. Got your running back to pick up a free runner. And, Lamar can get away from anybody, but when you compress that set and you're waiting for somebody to get open, you don't have that much time against Spagnuolo. You're not. It's just not. You're going to have to take off, and you already proved that you're quarterbacking. Now this ain't the time to prove that. You already did that in the regular season. Now you go get your money the way you got to get it. If you got to get 200 yards on the ground, then go get it and put your team in a better position to win.
Yeah, I like I said, the play calling was killing me. I was like, why are they not spreading Kansas City out? Why are you still running these tight sets? Like, spread their ass out. Lamar is not reading the blitz, man. He's not there yet to where he can be picking apart defenses at line of scrimmage. With the audibles, he's not there yet. Make life easier for your quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll ever become that type of quarterback because that's not who he is as a quarterback.
And he doesn't have. I mean, dude has. Let's go ahead and give him the MVP award for this season. He's got 2 MVP awards being him.
There you go.
Why not? Stay like that. You got 2 MVP awards being you. Don't listen to the pundits. Don't listen to these folks telling you. You got to be a pocket passer. Like, no, be you.
Right. Just go into the game and do what you do best. That's it. The pundits going to say what they say anyway, but when you point to them 2 MVPs, they're going to have to look and say, yeah, he's that guy unanimously. But to cater to them and play into their hands, by not doing what you're best at, you're playing yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Baltimore let one get away, man. Baltimore, and in my opinion, Baltimore and Detroit let it get away with just the play calling.
Both teams. Yep. That's and it was. Do you think it was worse for Baltimore or worse for Detroit?
Worse for Detroit. I mean, for me, worse for Detroit because Dan Campbell has done this all year long, and it has cost them. It has cost them. Like you can't. You take 3. Take 3. I mean, yeah, if you go forward, you may end up with a touchdown, but playoffs, take your points
and get off the field.
And Detroit felt like, hey, we beat up San Francisco in the first half. You thought San Francisco was going to come out with no fight, and you took your foot off the gas. The defense was playing soft in the second half. It wasn't getting after like it was in the first half because they had McCaffrey and kind of a bottle in the first half. Man, Ayuk wasn't making spectacular plays in that first half. Like they was controlling tempo in that first half. In the second half, when San Francisco went down and scored, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be one of them because I know Dan Campbell is gonna allow them back into the game. You can just tell by the body language how they're calling it. When you get a team down, man, you gotta stomp their ass out. This is the NFL. The talent gap ain't that big now.
Yeah.
This ain't college. So get that mentality out, get that out of there. Because a 3-10 team can whip your ass. If you go out there thinking the game is won, but I mean now we got what the media wanted anyway. 49ers and Chiefs. Early predictions. Speak. Who you got?
I mean, I'm going to go with Kansas City simply because you got Spags versus Brock Purdy. He's going to see some things that he ain't seen yet. And if he could do it to Lamar, he do it to Josh Allen, Purdy better be on top of his game because it might get rough out there for the kid. And the 49ers defense is not the Ravens defense.
Oh no. Oh no. Hold on for a second, because even though I'm over here in the space, no one comes up without the pat down. Welcome to the show. Okay, I can't hear you. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm still cautious over here in the corporate space now.
Wow.
I don't play them games, man. I don't play. That's creature of habit. But I agree with you. The matchup is going to be. I would say this about Kansas City's defense against the 49ers offense. Hold on. Can you hear me?
No, can you hear me?
Okay. All right. You live and in color, ma'am. How you doing?
Well, first of all, you get the best pat downs. Look, nobody will get past the block captain. So I wanted to add two things because y'all not reading my comments, and sometimes I get offended.
So I wasn't even looking in the chat box. I was talking shit, Nikki. Cut it out.
Listen, speak, and I do the same thing. So this is why I got to come up sometimes because I don't be paying attention to the chat. So listen. I think that had they brought out Ray Lewis instead of Suggs, whatever the fuck his name is, that could have changed the game around because Ray Lewis is Baltimore.
But they brought him out in the first half. I mean, at the beginning of the game.
Bring his ass out again, not the other nigga. Because I was done. You know what I'm saying? You bring him out in the beginning, but then you bring him out when the team is fucking up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, T Suggs is a Ravens legend now. He is.
I'll give him that. I just don't like him. Okay, I ain't never liked him. I ain't never
don't like T Thistle.
No, I don't. I just don't. I just never have. And something about him makes me think that he thinks he's a pretty boy and he's not. So yeah, he's on that list for me. So it really has nothing to do with his athletic ability. So I just don't like him. And then we're not talking about the whole Taylor Swift effect and that damn red lipstick.
No, I'm not talking about it because I was going to save that for Friday. I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I came in late. I offered a disclaimer.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I was like, I didn't want to jump into that because I was going to say that for the Friday freestyle show because it's the Taylor Swift effect comes with dollar signs for the NFL. And we'll kind of talk about that.
But her too, because I'm telling you, I see her coming out with a signature red lipstick line, for the Super Bowl.
Well,
if they win, it's gonna take her into the multi-billion-dollar stratosphere. But we'll save it for Friday.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I was on Twitter. And I'm gonna tell you to share the story with you. I was on Twitter and they said if you the Taylor Swift moment that America is waiting for. This is what they said: is Kansas City wins the Super Bowl and Travis Kelce proposes at the Super Bowl.
Oh goddamn! I can't. He better not. Because he left a bad sister who was a whole dime and a half. You know what I'm saying? For, to mess around with this ugly chick. I can't do it. So, yeah, we'll save it for Freestyle Friday. Because I'm going to be in my feelings. I'm going to be in my whole black girl feelings over this shit. Speak. Was she not a bad chick?
Yeah, she.
Hey, man. Cows can pull him the way he wants to. He got the bread and he catching the passes. So,
No, I ain't talking about none of that. I'm talking about the sister that he was with that he should have married.
I mean, she was nice, but obviously wasn't nice enough for him. He was like, hey, he went back to his own kind.
Yes.
He got tired of that sweet potato pie. Got him goddamn apple pie.
Listen, I'm about to put both of y'all in the back chat, and I don't even have the ability to do so. Look, where the tomatoes at? But listen, I just wanted to add my 2 little cents with that, and then 2, it's like this is how I troll Speakeasy. Just if I'm on the panel, I'm gonna call him up. If he's on the panel, I'm coming up. So this is how I troll Speakeasy. And he's gonna be giving me my credit. I be trolling the hell out of this dude. But
at any rate, you be coming with the bullshit. That's why I be like,
Lord have
but you're
mercy.
a good sport with it. But I wanted to know this. So, Speak, you owe me a retiree induction, and I demand it. If
Oh,
not, I'm trying to go for 8 rings.
no. We got some paperwork for you to sign to make your retire official. And as far as what I mean, hitting panels and shit like that, we got to kind of limit that. All that'll be in the contract. It's in the mail. Don't worry about it.
Okay, just wanted to know. I'm waiting on my NIL deal since I'm learning shit. So we got to keep it, relative to the corporate space. I'm waiting on my NIL deal. So hey, so if I get the particulars, I will comply.
Indeed.
so so Dots, as usual, it's always a pleasure. Was laughing at you in the other space with the flashback, of course, and that was priceless. But I'm gonna hop down. Thanks for allowing me to come up, and thanks for ignoring my comments, which gave me the courage to come up and say something.
No problem. Anytime.
Look, all I need is courage.
Anytime. You
Look, y'all hold
always
it down, and thank you as always.
appreciate it, man.
All
Appreciate
right, Vic. Hey, Doc, she was saying we was treating her like Molly get treated on first take.
Molly, you to do the intro, goddamn it. We the stars. Oh, but speak before I close down the show. I'm gonna do a full breakdown Thursday of my Super Bowl preview because you bring, like I said, the Spags versus Purdy is interesting. To kind of give you a little nugget, San Francisco's receivers are better at getting open than Baltimore's.
Mm.
How much blitzing, man zero, because they were doing a lot of man zero against Baltimore. How much man zero are they going to be able to do against San Francisco? Because Debo and Ayuk can get open. Kittle can get open. McCaffrey can get open. They're not just good receivers. They can get open. And I think that's where Baltimore kind of struggled because, they got to be schemed open. They're not good at separation. With the exception of OBJ, Bateman ain't there yet. Flowers ain't there yet.
Now that's true, but you also got to know that Kelsey gonna do his thing. That young boy Rice is nice.
I like Rice.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, but it's also going to come down to, are the refs going to let these corners play for the Super Bowl, or are they going to be like, you did it, we throwing it?
Well, if they don't let them play, advantage San Francisco.
Yeah, agreed.
Advantage. So we'll talk about that more on Thursday, and probably starting next week, I'll be doing the NBA content. We're ramping up because NFL's over with. After the Super Bowl, we'll be ramping up the NBA stuff. How's Boston looking to you this year?
They looking like they should. If everybody's healthy and Porzingis is playing, they're going straight to the championship. Directly to the championship.
You're not putting much stock in Doc taking over for the Bucks?
Doc Rivers, I mean, if it's game 5, it's over with.
I mean, but he's got 2 dogs. I mean, for sure, dogs. And Giannis and Dame. I don't see either one of those guys fading the black in the game 7.
Yeah, but see, you bring Dame into the equation, that limits Giannis's effectiveness.
They're still working out.
And Dame has never been a defensive player at all.
Oh no.
He going, that's just good offense, but it's only one ball, so both of them ain't getting 30. Dame going to have 40, Giannis going to have 22, and but Boston's firepower is just it's out there.
We'll see. I mean, Boston has looked the part, but we've seen over the last couple of home games, the team's been going in there thrashing that ass.
Yeah. I mean, they was on a 20-game home streak though. Like, you put 20 games together, a couple people gonna get in, and Boston rarely got all 5 of the guys out there. Like they are saving Porzingis for the playoffs. Every time I turn the game on, he barely playing. I'm like, he got a suit on again. He ain't hurt.
Yeah, they
So
are.
they're saving him.
Player, man. But before I get up out of here, brother of a certain age says, what level y'all have Brunson on? I'm very high on Brunson.
No, Brunson is a dog.
I'm gonna say this. I didn't think he was gonna be playing this well this soon after he left Dallas. I didn't see this level of play in him. Brunson could be on my team any day of the week.
Any team, any day of the week.
Brunson is I know Dallas, you ended up with Kyrie, but you should have kept Brunson.
Yeah, he's undersized, liability on defense. Yeah, but he gonna make up for that on the offensive end. He's a bucket getter.
And he's not ball dominant, and that's why when you watch the Knicks play, he's not really ball dominant like that. You can tell he's the focus, but the ball doesn't die when it hit his hand.
Right, and that's where that's his makeup for not being able to play defense on bigger guys.
Yeah.
But man, I love Brunson, man. He's a dog.
I would have had Brunson, starting in the All-Star game. That'd have been me, but the fans voted it, so he'd have been my starting point guard out in the East.
Yeah, he's a worker, man. He's a worker. Definitely high on Brunson.
Yeah, but we'll get into that, mainly next week because I'm just doing the NBA stuff because football's over with, and it's time to switch gears and trade deadlines coming up, teams making moves, playoffs. We're halfway through the season. Let's get it.
Yeah. All right, then, man. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Good show as usual. Can't wait for the Super Bowl show, but that Taylor Swift show, I might tap in for that. I might tap in for that. I kind of know where you gonna go with it, which is a good thing. I fucks with it. I'm not gonna argue with it, but that's a conversation generator because there's a lot of people talking about it and a lot of different angles people are coming from with that. So I look forward to that show there, Mike.
Yeah, we'll definitely be over here Friday, probably about 8:00 for that Freestyle Friday, and for the other space, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, we'll see how we only at what Tuesday. We got a lot of time.
We got to see if I don't get nothing to sink my teeth in by Thursday. You may just be getting the show over here. Sorry, people.
Hey, man, let it go. Hey, don't force it. Don't force it, man. Take your field goal.
Yeah, good play calling.
All right, Doc, I'm out, bro.
All right, Speak Man. Always a pleasure, bro. Oh, okay. Whatever. I must have missed. Taylor Swift. Yeah, brother of a certain age. Tune in Friday. We're gonna do the Freestyle Friday show. We're gonna be talking about the Taylor Swift effect. It's deeper than just her being up on the screen all day long. It's deeper than that, and we're gonna discuss that on Friday's show. Come back here Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Come back here Thursday, and we'll be, I'll be doing my Super Bowl preview. Breaking down the matchups and stuff like that, what to look for, stuff like that, whatever. And then next week, since it's, kind of like an off week, Pro Bowl week is really an off week for the NFL. We will be doing some NBA content next week. Probably next Tuesday, Thursday shows will be, NBA focused on, what's going on, and maybe a little debate going on, maybe a little bit of debate going on. Appreciate everybody taking the time out to check me out over here. As always, like, share, subscribe. It's always appreciated. Leave comments. Sometimes I'm slow getting to it. Y'all know me. Blame it on the mind, not the heart. Like I said, we'll be back Thursday. We'll be back Friday for sure. Yeah, and enjoy with the phrase that pays over here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but every time you learn. And I'm out.